You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 17th of April. US Vice President to visit India as Trump intensifies tariff war with China. Kulbhushan Jadhav was denied right to appeal. Pakistan Defence Ministry admits to Supreme Court. And Afghan envoy says Kabul ready to take care of returning refugees. And now for all the details. US Vice President J.D. Vance will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a 4-day visit to India next week as the two countries negotiate a bilateral trade deal. The two leaders are scheduled to meet on 21st of April, the first day of Vance's trip. The visit will provide an opportunity for both sides to review the progress in bilateral relations, India's Foreign Ministry said in a statement. The Vice President will be accompanied by his children and wife, Usha Vance, whose parents migrated to the US from India's Andhra Pradesh. The visit comes against the backdrop of an intensifying trade war between the US and China, with President Donald Trump placing tariffs of up to 145% on Chinese goods, with levies on some goods possibly reaching 245%. China has hit back with tariffs of 125% on US products. India was also among the countries which faced 26% US tariffs on 2nd of April before a 90-day pause was announced. Since then, Delhi and Washington have been working towards an early conclusion of trade negotiations. India has already cut tariffs on a range of goods and is reported to be considering more wide-ranging cuts to stave off Trump's threats. And amid the uproar surrounding the recently passed Waqf Amendment Bill, India's Minority Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju has dismissed the claims as unverified. A report.
As the hearing continues in India's Supreme Court over the Waqf Amendment Act over the petition filed by opposition parties, India's Minority Minister Kiran Rijiju has dismissed the claims made by them as unverified. In an interview with ANI, Rijiju said it is the government's duty to address and rectify any irregularities. He also clarified that the provisions of the Act do not pose any threat or harm to the Muslim community. He said people are spreading false news, unverified claims like taking over mosques, dargah by government. This country rules through law. The Constitution governs us. How can anybody snatch somebody's property like that? The minister said. Rijiju noted that a large section of the Muslim community is wholeheartedly welcoming the Waqf Amendment Act, adding that the newly enacted legislation establishes a transparent and accountable system for Waqf administration.
And Smitaji, I must tell you, we knew it. We will have this kind of resistance because those powerful people who are misusing so much of work properties will definitely not give up easily.
Yeah, okay.
They will resist. And that is what we are seeing it. But what we are saying is, let people read the provisions of the Act and tell us if there is any provision which harms the Muslim community. Tell us. So Muslims are also Indians. Shouldn't we think about Muslim community? How can we leave aside one community and let all the irregularities keep on happening unchecked? We can't see that. We are the government of India. We have the responsibility to ensure that every citizen is taken care of, every community is looked after.
The Waqf Amendment Bill 2025 was passed by Parliament earlier this month after marathon debates in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, seeking to streamline the management of Waqf properties, with provisions to safeguard heritage sites and promote social welfare. The bill was later given assent by President Draupadi Murmu. However, parties of the India bloc strongly opposed the bill, terming it unconstitutional, challenging its validity in the Supreme Court.
Pakistan's Defence Ministry has told the Supreme Court that Indian national Kulbhushan Jadhav was not granted the right to appeal his death sentence, as the ruling by the International Court of Justice focused only on consular access. According to a report by The Dawn, this came during a hearing on the rights of Pakistani civilians convicted by military courts, with petitioners claiming Jadhav was given more legal privileges than Pakistani citizens involved in the May 9, 2023 violence. Defence Ministry Counsel Khwaja Haris Ahmed clarified that while the ICJ directed Pakistan to provide consular access citing a breach of the Vienna Convention, there was no order for granting an appeal. He said Pakistan enacted the ICJ Review and Reconsideration Act 2021, allowing review of military court verdicts for foreign nationals, but this did not equate to an appeal. Jadhav, a former Indian Navy officer, was arrested in 2016 on charges of espionage and terrorism and sentenced to death by a Pakistani military court in 2017. Pakistan did not inform India about Jadhav's arrest until 22 days later, nor did it grant consular access, prompting India to accuse Pakistan of violating international norms. India condemned the trial as unfair and challenged it at the ICJ, which stayed the execution and ordered consular access. And the Afghan Consul General in Peshawar, Hafiz Muhibullah Shakir, said on Wednesday that the Taliban-led Afghanistan government is ready to receive Afghan refugees returning from Pakistan. Addressing a press conference, Shakir said camps have been set up in Afghanistan to facilitate the repatriation. He urged refugees to return and contribute to Afghanistan's development, claiming the country is now peaceful and stable with ample land and water resources. They, refugee, would have faced issues only had there been Russians or Americans in power in Afghanistan. There is peace and there is no problem, he said. Pakistan began the large-scale repatriation drive in October 2023, ordering undocumented foreigners, mostly Afghans, to leave. The second phase began on April 1st this year. But several rights groups have raised concerns, calling it a forced and rushed expulsion that has led to humanitarian challenges for returnees. In this context, Pakistan's jailed ex-PM Imran Khan has also called for an extension of the return deadline, urging a more organized and compassionate approach. He emphasized the need to respect human rights and ensure a dignified process for those affected. Moving on. Amid strained India-Bangladesh ties, Supradip Chakma, advisor in Bangladesh's interim government, has said the recent meeting between Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus and India's PM Narendra Modi brings hope for better relations. In an interview with ANI, he emphasized strong cultural and linguistic ties, suggesting people-to-people contact can ease tensions. Talking about PM Modi's concerns regarding the safety and security of minorities, Chakma, who is the only non-Bengali and Buddhist person in Yunus' cabinet, said the majority community must take a proactive, positive role to rebuild confidence among smaller religious or ethnic groups. He said he believes that when the majority fosters trust, minority communities will feel secure, highlighting his own presence in the cabinet as a testament to this approach. Relations between India and Bangladesh have been lukewarm after Sheikh Hasina, a close ally of New Delhi, was ousted by protesters. Following her ouster, Yunus has assumed power as interim government chief. However, he has been under fire over law and order situation in the country, especially over the attacks on minorities and Hindus considered traditional supporters of Hasina's Awami League. India, which has the largest Hindu population, has urged for safety of the minority communities in Bangladesh.
That is the basic, you see. With the two neighbors, we have a good relations since the creation of this nation. So it is a prime step for two of us. I seriously believe that the two leaders met together and talked very positively between us. So this will definitely yield some good hope, aspiration of two nations and two people. I seriously believe in engagement, and this engagement, I know that will give a good result.
Moving on. A 31-year-old Japanese national working as a human resource consultant in India is aiming to create a Guinness World Record of covering the largest distance by dribbling a soccer ball across 5 states, including West Bengal, Jharkhand, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and New Delhi. Nozmu Hagihara started his dribbling journey from Kolkata last month and wishes to cover a distance of 1,242 miles by May 15. His final destination is the Japanese embassy in New Delhi, he said on Thursday.
My challenge is dribbling football. This is actually the Guinness World Record Challenge to covering 2,000 kilometers, the world's largest distance journey with dribbling football.
Enthusiastic about soccer, Nozomu said he used to be a professional athlete in Japan's Okayama city before moving to India for work. He also used to coach children while managing a project in India's Bihar state. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.